Hi Capricorn. This reading is for anyone who identifies as or is terribly interested in a Capricorn at this time. Lots of sixes showing up for us today, Capricorns, suggesting that you should be at least open to help, if not maybe asking for it. Two of Cups. Maybe in regards to a relationship, a coupling of sorts. Crossed with both the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles. This is the second time the Tower card wanted to show for you, Capricorns. It showed up when shuffling and meditating with the deck. So some of you may be dealing with a Scorpion energy, maybe still dealing with the energy of that Scorpio full moon. Maybe dealing with it throughout the second half of May and even Gemini season. This reading, I feel at this point will probably see us through Gemini season, Capricorns. It is your mid-May reading. You've got the Queen of Water, Queen of Cups, the Four of Wands, so more possible water Scorpio energy there, or Pisces or Cancer with the Queen of Cups in the root of the situation. So this reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, or otherwise. You may have placements like your North Node or Midheaven that you identify with, or something random that I don't know about may have called you to a reading, even if you don't know that where that energy is in your chart, what area it rules for you. You have your second 10, the 10 of Fire, 10 of Wands showing up in the near future, Capricorns. So two 10s. I'm definitely sensing with the Tower sandwiched between two 10s, a revelation bringing the end of a cycle. A somewhat heavy one, or at least a heavy ending. And it looks like that ending with the Ten of Pentacles brings you security, at least a windfall of money, if not even more security than that. A raise, receiving word that you got that job after all, something like that with the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting, the Two of Swords, and then out at the same time with the Ace of Swords just underneath of it. That's the outcome of the situation. This is an abbreviated Celtic cross, Capricorns, which will still have 10 cards in it anyway. It's just, I guess, a slightly altered version of the Celtic cross, laid out a little differently, and I will let you see the spread with me. Look at the cards with me while we draw any clarifiers that we might need. We might do that. First, I just want to get a couple pieces of advice for you, and then I'll take the camera down to the cards and flip them around for you as well. So ultimately, there's a decision to be made. Ultimately, there's two 10s on the table, two 2s on the table, and a decision to be made after this Tower moment. That's probably happening pretty close to present, pretty close to when this message is finding you, or in the very near future from it. using what comes to light as things fall away, using the truth that remains as false foundations crumble down, to make that decision. Here it is in your final outcome with that decision. It's like presently you already know what the truth is, so you already know what the decision is, but you're going to create this burden at the end of the cycle for yourself, Caps, by carrying the weight of that truth and doing nothing with it and nothing about it for a minute. And then finally, ultimately, the decision that has to be made is in honor of that truth, as you know that it would or will be regardless. You got 3 pieces of advice: the Hierophant, the 6 of Pentacles. Like I said, 6s keep showing up. So you have the 6 of Swords on the bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles here, 2 2s, 2 10s, 2 6s, the Page of Swords as well. And now the 7 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I do think you're moving toward calmer mental and emotional states, but possibly because you're needing to leave a trickster behind, someone who betrayed you in some way, was sneaky in some way. Doesn't necessarily have to be how we read the 7 of Swords. It's what's coming through so far. Caps, I apologize if it's difficult to hear me. I am trying to speak at full volume, but there are people sleeping in the house, so I almost can't quite make myself. But I've got the mic turned all the way up. I'm going to inch the music down one more. All of the music that you hear is free. It's royalty free, copyright free. And I've got a playlist linked in the description that's got any song that I would have played, giving Audio Library and the other 2 that I use credit on that playlist. It's great. You can find a lot of just chill, mellow, tarot reading friendly, in my opinion, free stuff out there. Anywho, I guess while we're talking about that, I'll remind you that you can find information about all of the decks I use in Lunartics Tarot readings in the description down below as well. This is the Radiant Rider-Waite that we're using today. I'll let you see your advice cards more clearly now. 6 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Hierophant. Here is, I believe, you being encouraged to go ahead and quickly wield that truth that is, I believe, currently coming to light. Perfect. Yeah, we're going to need some clarifiers, but above all else, I just see this is very interesting, Capricorns. I'm intrigued and I want to draw clarifiers with you, actually. But I see someone deeply inspecting their emotions in the root of the situation. And this may be you, or like I said, you may be dealing with a water sign energy, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, maybe a mature feminine energy. But regardless if it's you, someone external to you, a female or not, this is someone who feels their way through life. Maybe a mystic, maybe an empath, certainly someone with empathy, empathetic abilities, who maybe uses that in her daily life, like as part of her work as a counselor or a healer, doing esoteric work, or again, the work of a mystic in some sense. Or just in her daily life and her daily dealings with her friends and family. That's just the type of comforting, watery energy she is. Very emotional, very feeling, very empathetic, regardless of whether you actually identify that person as Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces or not. That's the energy they bring to the table. Flowing through and around things with ease, but by using a perception that not everyone shares. Feeling the energies in the room feeling the energies of the day. And what I'm called to say is really what that boils down to for those of us who flow like water through a lot of things, use our water energy to move through daily life. A lot of times what it comes down to is just literally doing what we feel like doing, which is really nice and fun and freeing. Because she's a very intuitive individual as well, and just naturally so. I think that's why Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio get so much credit for being so psychic. We're all the signs are psychic, but it's a matter of using our tools in slightly different ways and turning our tools on and up in slightly different ways. And none of us can really be categorized in any one element or sign, because we all have all those charts or all of those energies in our charts somewhere, right? But for those of us who allow water to rule us, it comes down to using our empathetic abilities and our intuitive senses. It can be likened and equated a lot of times with just doing what authentically just feels right for us to do, and that ends up putting us in the right place and doing synchronistically the correct thing to be doing. So that might sound more to you like the description of someone that you know close to you that fits, and that's who's showing up in the root of the situation. Maybe it's you. That type of self-reflection, inspection, honest feeling, maybe even some honest wallowing in emotions, just really delving deep into them, led to a secure, happy, comfortable, safe, peaceful home, maybe even brought two people together in order to secure or maintain one. Maybe even led to a celebration like the one we might see pictured here in this depiction of the Four of Fire, the Four of Wands, rods. It's like the home came together before the couple formed. Like two roommates ended up dating, or, two people were already involved in living together, but then the bond really thickened once they saw the home that they could make together. Something like that as we progress forward to the present moment there. But with the stable, secure home and the couple and bond really deepening or forming where love is understood, it leads directly to this meeting this even greater wealth and security than the secure, comfortable home that was already part of the picture. Or if someone had to leave this secure, happy, comfortable home in the past in order to form this bond and couple, then you see that the new home is even richer, even wealthier again, has an empire, a mansion to offer. Maybe not quite an empire, but an even wealthier environment to offer that supports even more people, probably, or could at least. But at the same time, realizing that, seeing that money come in, or seeing this home flourishing in front of you, maybe this home and couple simultaneously, maybe you're part of it. It's also a tower moment. It's also very enlightening. So some other things may fall away. Like I said, this is probably current or in the very near future. Some other things may fall away, but there is truth and enlightenment in this bolt of an epiphany, a realization, a revelation underneath of that. And for some, there may not be any crumbling down of anything. It may just be that this is your breakthrough. We're going to have to draw clarifiers. That may be some of you just being Capricorns, for some reason, more attached to a simpler way of living, attached to a minimalistic lifestyle. Maybe some of you were just very comfortable in having everything simplified and making ends meet and not having more than you needed, not having an overabundance of things, which we all deserve. But we get stuck in these lack mindsets, sometimes in a positive way, sometimes in a negative way. even to constantly remind myself, waste not, want not, keeps me in a lack mindset. But that's just conscientious of me, right? That's just environmentally friendly of me. That's part of my being a humanitarian in a way for me. But it does keep you in a lack mindset. So that's what I mean. I hope you can touch what I mean when I say sometimes in a positive way, sometimes in a negative way. Some of you just may have been very attached to that simpler home, simpler life, maybe even simpler partnership in ways for some. Easier to manage, that smaller household, that partnership that wasn't as deep, wasn't as connected, that job that didn't require as much energy or as many hours, that didn't make you risk as much, put as much on the line, be responsible for as much, right? Some of you. But we'll draw clarifiers to see more specifically, what this tower represents for you. It's interesting that it's coming in with this wealth, possibly health, possibly time, just energy in general, but a lot of times riches, a bigger home, better job, more resources, more income, more wealth, which equates to more health. It's a healthier situation. For some of you, maybe in this healthier environment, this healthier family partnership situation, you see just how corrupted, unhealthy, untrue, inauthentic things were before. Some of you. But let's yeah, and some of you are just having like I said, trouble letting go of the way things were, even though things are better now. And you see that, undeniably see that truth, but you're going to carry the burden of the past and of denying that you should let go of some of those things from the past in the near future, throughout the rest of the month, maybe moving through a lot of Gemini season. But ultimately, in order to be a part of your new picture, this beautiful, wealthy home and understanding bond, right? You will have to choose to let go of those things from the past that you're insisting on carrying for some time. You already see the truth. Like I said, I feel like the decision is already made. You already have a hold of the truth. You're peacefully armed with all the knowledge you need to make this decision, but you still have to do the act of deciding to choose your present and your future over your past. And that's I think that's most of what we're seeing, is just the choice to carry it. But you're advised to secure and deepen this bond even more. Some of you advise toward marriage, not to be pushy. It's just on the table. And to notice that you do have an equal give and take, an equal contribution to this home. Or for some of you, you've created one that's with someone that's beautiful in every way, except for the fact that they're still giving to two people. So two very different messages coming through, and we're already almost 20 minutes in. So I do want to draw some clarifiers. We'll expand on both different messages, two very opposite ends. But we do have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to probably expand on that one first, actually. Let me just flip them around towards you and pull us a couple of clarifiers. Okay, that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're looking at here. We will use the Game of Thrones tarot. First and foremost, I'm going to draw 5 of coins showing. A clarifier for this bottom of the deck, for the Seven of Swords here. The Empress. Interesting. And for the Tower moment as well. So it may have been the divine feminine, a divine feminine in this home, in this partnership, whether that's you or your other here, another in the home, who was actually doing the sneaking around, being stealthy at least in some manner, possibly betraying someone, or maybe just did in the past. And what we're seeing are all the repercussions. We've got the Four of Swords showing for us as well. That might give you a little bit better angle there. So really, okay, suggesting to me that this revelation everything possibly crumbling down, but certainly moving out of the way at least, so that the truth, this epiphany, this realization can come to light, is actually just something that most of you are just going to find through deep meditation, some time spent alone in solitude, in solemn contemplation. I always repeat all of that for this card, just because it always feels so important. We're always so quick to take the opinions of the people around us, or just the media, or the books we read, rather than just asking ourselves how we feel about it. And when you do that, that's where you find this truth for most of you. It's something you already know that's going on with this person or in your home. And you just become really aware of it through some peaceful contemplation. And I feel like if you're dealing with someone who you think of as a divine feminine, either counterpart or just significant energy in your home, I really feel like even though you've got a beautiful bond, possibly couple and love with this person, and a secure foundation maintained by the two of you, or at least including their input, right? You may be talking about a house full of more than just two people. In spite of that, there's something going on underneath the surface that this is really about, that you need to know about. Now, if you are this divine feminine energy here, the Empress ruling the home, the one keeping some secrets, some time and energy to yourself, stolen away, reserved for yourself, then there's nothing really, there's no malintention there, right? She deserves to steal some time and energy for herself. And if she's running the home, then she may keep some information about how she does so on her own. And that's her choice. It's her running things. It's her show, right? And in that case, it may be that what you're stealing time for is something that you're creating, a project that you're working on, something you're trying to give to the world. But with running a home and being part of this couple and earning this income, it may be very hard to make time for that. So you feel you have to steal the time. That's what I see coming through for those who identify as the divine feminine ruling empress and creator and maybe mother of this situation, this home. Whereas, those partnered with or here at the reading interested in a divine feminine in their life, in their home, in their heart, in their current coupling, I see you needing to be aware that there's something going on you don't know about. And if that's the case, if you realize that they've been sneaking around about something, that they've been giving to two people, The advice in the spread here is to say something about it. Communicate to them, communicate to someone about it. It may be hard to speak up about it. It may be seem immature, disrespectful, like you're trying to fight, but that's just because some of you haven't, you know, dealt with that type of situation before. Or if it's you who is keeping something, then this is a partner who understands the way you love. This is a couple with love understood on both sides. And you're advised here to deepen the bond and the commitment. So just speak up and be honest with this person, really, Caps. Then is the, especially Divine Feminine Caps. Really, that's the message then, is to go ahead and share, go ahead and be honest. So on either end, if you have a hold of this truth because you've always known it, or you have a hold of it because you just realized something about your partner, someone in your home, either way, speak up with the truth. Like I said, before we flip the cards around, there's two very different messages coming through. So for some, yeah, someone's giving to two people. And in that case, if that's the revelation, of course, the advice is not to deepen the bond and the commitment. Whereas for others, the advice is to deepen the bond and the commitment, because this is not only love understood and wealth and riches that amount to health because of skills acquired in a home managed well, but it's also to people who are giving equally to that situation in order to maintain it. But ultimately, we boil down to the same thing, an unavoidable truth that we see already in the current situation. For some, like I said, it is to walk away from your past in order to truly embrace this beautiful present and future, even though it does mean the closing of a cycle, possibly some things falling away. For others, it's also choosing to speak up with this truth. You've got the Eight of Pentacles now as a clarifier on the Hierophant. And the Wheel of Fortune showing up on the bottom of the deck, just giving me the overall feeling that this is going to turn in your favor. This is going to go in your favor because you are on a path to choose the truth, to choose the present and the truth, to choose to embrace this enlightening information. So keeping faith with someone, remaining loyal. I guess monogamy may seem monotonous is a message I have here. And also just that type of work is longer and harder work than people expect. And so maybe in that you are advised to empathize with someone who has in the past snuck around a bit. Possibly a Taurus. I see the Empress, I see the King of Pentacles, and I see the Hierophant. But we could also be talking about your own energy, Capricorn or Virgo energy there, Cancerian energy, Scorpio energy. The twos are saying to have faith. The Hierophant is saying to have faith. Again, the tens are talking about this being a major closing of a cycle. The sixes are saying to ask for help, or at least be open to it, even just from the divine, from what anchors you beyond the veil. That may be what you need to guide you through this situation, even though you have a hold of the truth, just because it's so hard to act on it, hard to forgive this person and move forward, or hard to speak up about the fact that you have realized or found out this truth, or heart to speak up about the fact that you have a really painful truth to share with them, if you're the one in the situation who has snuck around. But for some of you, we'll end on this, like I said, for some of you, what is divinely timed and fated here, and what is your good fortune is really the decision to embrace your new beginning, your future, your present and your future with this new person, with this new home, with this new money, even though, again, it means accepting what has to fall away, which is, if nothing else, the past, an old version of yourself. Show commitment and faith in this new path, in this new work, in this new income, in your ability to maintain this new home. That's what's happening for a lot of you. This is you, Capricorn. This card is so you. The card of work, the Eight of Pentacles, the card of hard, monotonous, but rewarding paid work is very much a Capricorn card. If anyone can maintain this new home, this new work, this new job, this new income, it's you. If you can't do it, I mean, which among us can? And I'm a Taurian saying that to you. You work like none other, Caps. And that's what's happening, is some of you are just afraid that you won't be able to maintain it, keep up with it, the demands. Count yourself blessed if you have this blessed partnership and home and you're just worried about maintaining it, because some are dealing with that other message of great new job or great amount of money coming in, great partnership, but underneath that, down in the foundation, somebody's lying about something. Either the querent or their partner has some sneaky truths that need to come out. So if you just have the part about a great foundation, a great home, and a great partnership, and you're the element of negativity, your worry about whether or not you can maintain it is the only obstacle here, then not to demean your problems, but man, let that shit go. Because how lucky are you compared to the ones who have all of that to deal with, but then also they or their partner is keeping a secret. And in spite of the money and the home and maybe possible marriage on the table, they really have to deal with the foundation, with that corruption, with that lie. I mean, it's so much of an ickier situation, right? Then really everything that's standing on top of that foundation could crumble down. So really count yourself lucky if all you need to do is just get rid of the worry, because then, you're the only thing that's causing a problem, really, not to be too harsh. But we will leave it at that. We're far over time, Caps. That is your message for mid-May and Gemini season 2019. I hope that the insight it had to offer was able to reach you. If you need a private reading with me, or if you would like one, again, just scroll down to the description box below. I've got all the information you would need, all the links that you would need, and also my email address, LunarticksTarot@gmail.com. So you can just go ahead and peruse and click a link and order that way, or you can email me first or at the same time, and I'm happy to work with you either way. I hope that you all make wise choices for yourselves moving forward without feeling boxed in or determined by anything we've discussed here in this snapshot of the path that some Capricorns are on right now. I love you so much, Capricorns. I hope you are all always aware that you can edit this path as you see fit using your free will. And I will post another reading for you for June 29 very soon.